SIG P226.
His shots ring. Take on 45. Life is good. Life is good.
All right. All right, Steve Lee wasn't finished. Yes, Hickok 45, your internet shooting companion, coming to you from the hills, beautiful hills, the green hills of Tennessee. Glad to be here. Glad you're here. The home of Alvin York. Gosh, who else? Jeff Quinn and Dave Ramsey. I always forget about Dave Ramsey. Pretty famous dude from Tennessee, right? Comes in to you broadcast-wise, right, from Nashville. Quite often, probably, if you ever listen to him. Some of you don't even know who he is, probably, right? But anyway, a lot of, hey, here we go, profound stuff already just came to me. Speaking of that, there probably are millions of people who have not heard of anybody you can name. Right? It's funny, especially these days. Everybody's famous for 15 minutes, and then also everybody's famous in their own little niche for just well, maybe a long while. But still, it doesn't mean everybody knows who you are, whether you're Dave Ramsey or Alvin York, or there are probably people who don't know who, have never heard of Elvis Presley. Thinks he's maybe a linebacker for Green Bay or something, you know? That's just the way it is. I never will forget being amazed by an elderly woman. I was in my early 20s, a fine, well-educated, smart lady. And she hadn't heard of a very well-known country music singer, very well-known, big name. Again, and it was like mentioning Bill Smith or something, you know. And I remember, because I was young and naive, but it didn't compute, you know, it just didn't compute. How could you not know? But really, that is more the case today, probably than ever, because someone that is extremely well known in like your circle or my circle, your area of media, my area of media. A lot of people think of the people who couldn't tell you who the heck, I don't know, Ben Shapiro is, or Dave Rubin or somebody, or I don't know, name an actor, just anybody, a singer. A lot of popular singers today, I couldn't tell you who they are. Wouldn't recognize names, you know. But yet they're extremely well known in certain arenas and making millions of dollars selling songs and probably filling up arenas, you know. So, but it's a big, big world, I need to tell you, lots of population. And so somebody could have millions of people following them, and but that would leave out billions. So anyway, I got off on that, but there are lots of people who haven't heard of anybody you could name. So yeah, here I am, and I'm glad to be here on Mother's Day. Yeah, you're seeing me on Mother's Day. I'm a little bit earlier this week, so I got some things going on, but again, it's the week and of Mother's Day, and hope you've done something nice for your mother if you can, and if she's still around, okay? Because guess what? She won't always be around, and so be nice, do something nice while you can, right? Once it's too late, it's too late. So be nice to your mommy. And unfortunately, some people who never have had a mother that they've known, perhaps, or a father especially. And it's just the way of the world, way of humanity. But hopefully you have overcome anything things like that in your childhood where you've lost a parent early, or both parents, or you didn't have parents that you ever knew, or whatever it might be, or father you ever knew, or mother you ever knew. And I take that for granted because I didn't come up in that situation. And most people I know did not, but some people have. I had friends of people who lost lost their dad or something at 10 years old. My mother lost her mother when my mother was 10 or 11. You know, that kind of thing. You just kind of take that, you know, for granted that everybody's had a decent childhood or a fulfilled childhood, you know, whatever. But it's not always the case, is it? So, got a fireman here with some talent group material on them. I brought my M&P 10mm back out. Just a couple loaded mags. I might fire that. Again, I just bring out guns I want to shoot, guns I have that we're going to do videos with. Maybe you want to shoot a little more. And so I'm seeing some mixed comments, reviews on the, not reviews, but just views, opinions on the M&P 10mm. Somebody told me they had a lot of trouble with one, and you know, so I don't know. So I'm, what I like to do with a firearm, if there is an issue, you know, I've done that with my 43X, yeah, Glock 43X with the Shield Arms magazines, because you know you get mixed reviews on those, and they just shoot them every now and then, you know. Not shoot them a lot one day and then don't shoot it for 3 months. I think I learn more, and I get a better warm and fuzzy feeling about the reliability of a firearm or a product or whatever it might be if I'm using it regularly, even if it's not a great deal. You know, I give it lots of opportunities to fail. So if it does, I'm aware. Can I go ahead and shoot this 10? Can I? And then we'll get to the SIG 226. That's the main thing I wanted to shoot some today. So the 10mm again. Yeah, a little trouble there. Oh. So I dropped the mag. I guess I hit the mag button. I don't normally do that, but I guess I did. I'm gonna go around that green 2-liter. Okay. So I guess I hit that under recoil. I don't know. That's really rare for me to do with any pistol. So, all right, that's why I do this. Bring it out and shoot it. Okay, what else? Yeah, so I got the P226. This is the Legion. Y'all been requesting it or telling me that I would like this better than the other SIG P226s probably because of some of the upgrades and things. So I thought I'd get right on it and get one and shoot. Actually, that goes back about 5 years. It really does. I just never did get a Legion. I noticed Buds had one in stock, and so I haven't shot a P226 for a while. Plus, we have another video we want to do where we needed one, and so that's great. They've got the Legion. I never did shoot that, I don't think, and so I thought I'd get that and borrow it for a little while. So we did a couple of videos with it. So bring it out today. I fired a magazine or two with it when it first came in this couple days ago, and so it comes with 3 mags. So I got a couple more loaded here. Shoot it some more. Mainly I wanted to shoot it in my, I got some new grips yesterday at a gun show. Yeah, I got recently I got some Eagle grips, wooden grips for my GP100 I wanted to try. Had to do a little Dremel on them. I still need to doctor them up a little. Had a rough edge and didn't fit as well as I would like, but they're nice looking, decent looking, and they're all wood and smooth film. I like them better than the original Ruger grips. Okay, they feel good too. I haven't fired it yet with them, but they feel good. And actually, I like the looks of the gun better with them. Do I have to tell you I'm weird? I have different opinions. I, for some reason, and I've told you this before, I think, don't necessarily, well, I just don't like, put it that way, I don't like the Ruger rubber grips with the wood inserts necessarily. I know that's the Ruger, that's the original equipment, and I'm not going to throw mine away, but I just have never really liked those. There's something about rubber grips with wood. I don't know. Just give me all wood or all rubber, okay, on my grips, and so anyway, I like that better now. That little tank, yeah. Get a nice sight picture. It's pretty good for fixed sights, so we'll shoot that. Yeah, I might go ahead and load it. Will I? Maybe. Let's see. And again, those are real grips. Those are real wood. That's not disinformation. Okay. I'm going to set up my own disinformation governance board, and I'm going to decide what's appropriate for people to say in the county where I live. It's my new project. Okay. I'm just going to decide, because I need to be able to make that decision. Somebody says something I don't like, I should be able to prevent them from saying that sort of thing, don't you? Anybody disagrees with me, politically, religion, whatever the topic is, they shouldn't be able to express that, should they? Wow. How am I going to rule the world if I allow that? So anyway, let's go ahead and shoot this thing and quit joshing around. There's probably out there people believe in me, right? There's probably not, but there might be somebody of a slightly different political persuasion who's already thinking, hey, that's a good idea. I need to do that in my county. Hope not. All right, let's shoot this target. Let's shoot the bullseye. Woo! These little boogers are strong, but they pack a wallop. Those grips do pretty well, though. No rough edges. Got the rough edges off. Let's go ahead and shoot a 2-liter while we're shooting these bombs. Let's put a bomb on the gun. All right, one bomb coming up. That was it, 6. Must be a 6-shooter. Yeah. Oh yeah. Many of you really like the GP100. I like it fine too. Not my favorite revolver. Right, I guess I have to live with my choices. I think it was one that I eliminated in my last .357 Magnum revolver I would ever sell. Whatever, it went away early, I guess, didn't it? I'm sorry. But you have to remember, those guns I had on the table in that video, that was not all my .357 Magnum revolvers. And it made the table, okay? It made the table. It's one that I like. So you got to remember that in those videos. It is kind of a finalist if it's even in the mix, if it's even on the table. So there's just something about these things that it's likable, They really are. Oh man. So again, don't forget imposters around. I see just today, this morning, somebody posting using my avatar. I'm trying to sell cryptos or something, or guns or whatever, So be careful of that. Help me report them. Sometimes it's stuff you cannot filter out. If they got something. I hate to even mention this, but if it's in your username, it's impossible to filter that out, very well. And so people have figured that out. These people promoting cryptos or selling guns, trying to get you to go somewhere and donate money or tell you bizarre stuff, whatever it might be. So just be aware of that. Help me report people like that if you see anything like that. You all know you're not going to just crazy things like that from me, right? Taking a elitist drink here. Oh, yeah. Okay. What else do you want to hear about? Like I said, I had fun at the Tennessee Classic archery shoots. Saw some of you there. Good to meet you. Met somebody at the gun show this week in Murfreesboro last week, and where else? Various places. But anyway, can I shoot the SIG? I know one thing I wanted to touch on is this business of I don't know, one of our brilliant political leaders made a comment again this week about students, young people, kids, children, whatever. When they're at school, they are I don't know how it was stated. They're students. They're not our children. They're students, and they're in control of them, and they're in charge, and all that kind of thing. And however you interpret all that politically and everything, I just wanted to say something about that. Can I do that? Let me shoot first, okay? Because I've been a kid. I have a dog in that fight. I have been a kid before. I've been a children before. I have been a student before. I've been somebody's child before. I have been a teacher before, okay? With students who are also kids, who are also children, okay? So I have something to say about that. Remember, the old 226, you can decock it, right? Watch me decock it. Yeah, with a thumb, but I can still shoot it. Yeah, I missed the bull. Okay, let's decock it again. See if I can do better. Yeah, that's better. I'm gonna decock it and I'm gonna go double action on that plate right there. I'm gonna decock it and go double action on that red plate. Alright, let's go on to the gong. Figured out where to hold it as we were opening. It's not a problem to hit. Let's hit that hog with the last round. Oh, I hit that wrong plate. I don't know. I'm not sure what I think. Did I hit that plate right there? I must have really pulled on the trigger. That's why you have a lot of targets. So, and you don't call your targets. You hit something steel, just assume, pretend you were shooting at it, right? So yeah, I back when we did some SIGs, different ones, a 229 and one of these and others, I've always complained, I know, about going from double to single action. Not a gun I'd want to carry probably, with your most important trigger pulls for defense are different, the first one versus the second one and all that. And I still feel that way, but I also, this is a little better, this Legion model. I also know and realize that it's going to be up close and dirty probably, and if you practice with it, you're going to do fine. You're going to do fine probably, okay? So these are high quality, and they really are. I really kind of missed, part of it was, oh yeah, 226, because I had my radar out for something else we're going to be doing, but when I saw Bud's had one, oh yeah, I really was anxious to get it and fire it, because it's been a while. I remember the one we did, we borrowed actually from a viewer, and it was a Navy version, I think, the video we have. I think it has a lot of views. I really enjoyed that video and was just not surprised, but just had fun shooting that firearm, because they're just so shootable, whatever that means, right? Generally that means you can shoot them well and hit with them, and they feel good, fun to shoot and all that, I think. And that's kind of the way this is. It's a great gun. Some improvements, upgrades, you know, for the Legion version of the SIG, but the G10 grips and more melted controls don't get in the way as much, and the finish is different, better sights, things like that. But just a nice, more serrations. Feels good. I tell you, you could do worse. You could do worse, couldn't you? So we'll do a video with that. I wanted to shoot it some more. Good chance to do it, right? What else? Oh yeah, I was going to talk about my vast experience being a child, student, having students and all that. I think I may have mentioned this once in a Shooting the Breeze or something. When I was teaching, not to cast aspersions on anybody could do it. I might have somewhere along the way. I don't think I have, but I recall an administrator or two times, maybe a teacher time or two, various places, but referring to a group of parents, maybe like a parents' night, awards program, or just whatever it might be, and referring to their kids saying, your students, and it might be something very, very complimentary. We just love having your students in our class, or whatever it might have been. But referring to your students want the best education, whatever that might have been. And it always hit my ear the wrong way. And I'm on the inside. I'm one of the faculty, and hearing someone say that, it just never. And I remember asking and having a conversation with some of my colleagues about that one time, and they felt the same way, But ones I was talking to, but I just I wasn't admonishing. I didn't bring it up with somebody. Hey, you made a mistake. It's just a different way to say it. I don't think they meant a lot by it, but it's weird, because from my perspective, and again, this is in the news, but this has been something that's come to my mind over the years, for 20 years at least, or 30. How that has always rubbed me the wrong way, even from the inside, when an administrator or a teacher would use that phraseology, talking to parents, your student. No, it's your child and my student, maybe. Okay, it's the child is a child first and foremost, and as a kid's a child. The child is not a student. This kind of ties into what I was talking about before. I'm not a YouTuber. I was not a basketball player. I was a person who played basketball, a person who posted videos on YouTube. I'm not a this or that. I'm just a guy who does a lot of different things and has done a lot of different things. And that human who is 15 years old is really not a student. He's a teenager. She's a teenager. And one of the things they do is they learn, and they go to school, and they act as a student. They are a student, when they go to school. They're not that teacher's student versus a child. They're a child first, right? Student second. So anyway, it's much ado about nothing, I guess, in a lot of ways. But that always has hit my ear the wrong way. So it's interesting that it comes up, lately. So. Enough on that. What should I shoot? Let me empty this other mag with my 10 millimeter. Here I am getting all these guns dirty, but that's what I was going to do, whether you were here or not. Okay. Am I recording? Yeah. So I make sure. All right, 10 mil. M&P. I'm going to make sure I don't touch that mag release. Okay, got it bracketed, now let's hit it. Yeah, I think that was me. But again, that's the advantage, I think, in bringing a gun out at different times. Like if that doesn't happen again over the next, whatever, 2, 3, 4 times I shoot it, I'll be more confident that that was me. Whereas if it does it again the next time I shoot, I don't know, keep an eye on it, So maybe I don't want to carry that in bear country yet. I'll carry my Glock 20 instead of the M&P. Somebody pointed out, I think, I don't know, somewhere in a comment or Facebook or somewhere that, Instagram, I don't know, that knowing I have this and brought it out, that don't have to put in a different barrel to shoot cast bullets. And yeah, I ain't thought of that. Yeah, I didn't thought of that. That's an advantage of this. So if I'm in Grizz country, I could carry something like 200. Well, see what I don't know. 200 grain, 220 grain hard cast bullets. I've got double tap. See Buffalo Bore, whoever, some different companies that load those. And first, I would make sure they function. They don't tumble or don't have any of that silliness going on with this firearm. And yeah, it'd be an option if they feed well. I like this gun so far. I don't know if you noticed too, I got some, Talon doesn't make grips for it yet, okay? Because I wrote to them and asked them about it. And they sent me some of the tape though for it, so I could put some on, myself, some of the Pro Grip. So I sort of have the Pro Grip on there, just not tailored for this pistol. So I'm sure they'll have that out pretty soon. But yeah, so it feels better to me now. It gives me that little, you know, I've told you that it's still like the Shield. It's a little thin side to side or something, but that helps, and still got a good grip on it. The originals, whatever bubble and texture on that grip is good though. It's good. M&P has come a long way with that, and if you have one, you know what I'm talking about. I've got the M&P 2.0 and 9mm, and you know, feels good. So they're good guns, they really are. So, all right, what else did I want to shoot? Got another mag for this. Oh, I know too. You all been commenting on the on Slamfire, and it showed up in what was it, the Colt Frontier Scout video posted recently with the Ruger Single 6. Some of you are thinking, huh, what video is that? What video is that? There's still a lot of people that they don't follow the channel. They just see only what's recommended to them. But yeah, that was what, last week, I guess. But the you know, Slamfire showed up, you know, for that video at the beginning. It's so funny. A lot of comments about him. And he is, I always agree with people, tell me how cute he is or whatever. He is the best cat. Now, for you people who hate cats, I know it's hard for you to grasp this. Because I never really owned cats. Of course, nobody owns them. We had a bunch of them around here. People had dropped off. And they were always just outside cats, and they'd come and go and everything. We'd feed them, but they'd come and go. And I still never was a cat person. I had golden retrievers since 1975. A long line of golden retrievers up until about, whatever, 10 years ago. I lost my last one. And so I guess they knew it. They showed up at the right time. They were drop-offs. You know, both of the cats I have were rescued. One of them showed up down in the weeds, all full of birds and a mess, just a little baby, really little kitten. And my wife, you know, rescued her and got her cleaned up and fed her a little bit and everything. She's turned out to be the best. She's really almost full-blood Himalayan, I think. That's what's amazing. Both of these cats are, they're not just, well, they're dumb cats, but they're, like, she is mostly Himalayan. I don't know if she's pure or not, it doesn't matter, but she's just a different cat, and different breed of cat. Doesn't jump up on the refrigerator or counters or anything like that. She's ambles around the house, and she got up in a chair or the couch, and just the most lovable cat. Yeah, doesn't create a problem, never. You know. So she was first, and then this other one showed up, who Slamfire, whom you can tell is mostly Maine Coon. And John and I were out doing video about 10 years ago, and messing around out there, and I was like, look, John, there's a little bitty cat up on a tree looking around the tree at us, and big eyes, you know. And so I think he reached up and pulled him off, and he was just a friendly guy, wasn't afraid of us at all. It was really odd. And so he hung around, fed him, hung around, and then he mostly was an outside cat for years. And then we began to let him in the house when the other one came in, because she had a broken leg, all that kind of stuff. But anyway, he is, Slamfire is just a prince of a fella. He really is. Different kind of cat also. He's not like one of the cats, you know how cats just like dart around, jump around, and if they cannot get from point A to point B without like darting, you know, and look around and then go back and zigzag and dart around and acting crazy all the time. He is more like a dog or something. He rolls around, scratches his back on the drive or gravel, and if he's like way over there, you see him way over there, and then you holler at him, or if he sees you on a porch, he starts heading your way. None of that darting like a cat does, or jumping around, or hop. He just starts lumbering, walking. He just walks, you know, like a cow would or something. He just walks, and it may take him 5 minutes to get to the house, but he just walks at a normal pace. Doesn't get in a hurry, you know. Now, if he's after something, he's very, very quick. And he's that way in the house, you know. He just darts in, or he walks from one room to the other. If he wants to go outside, you know, he ambles over to the door. None of this darting around, running around, unless he has a purpose. Like maybe he's jumping at the other one to give her a hard time. But He's just the neatest cat. Of course, he's like the other one. He wants to get up my lap all the time, prevent me from working. He wants to be there instead of the laptop. And but just good boy. So just so that's verified. A lot of people think he looks like a great cat. He really is. He really is, and has been. So enough on cats and on slam fire. I'm gonna shoot at this other mag. Is that okay? Is that all right? Okay. There we go. SIG P226 Legion. Probably has a legion of followers. Let's go to that pin down. Okay. Bear down. Yeah, I tell you, the SIG P series, the 226, 229, they're just really nice pistols. You know, which brings up another philosophical topic about firearms in general, handguns, whatever. Even though I'm probably not going to carry this, I might carry it around the place. I find myself packing who knows what around here. Maybe I'm on the tractor, I'm out running around, and I could put on a chest holster if I want, and wear whatever I want, right? Doesn't matter what weighs or what the action is. I might just, that's the advantage of having my own place. I might do that. But as far as out and around, concealed carry, I got so many better choices probably than this, okay? They're heavy. I think they're what, about 30 ounces plus, you know. But they're great guns. You know, there's a reason the SEALs carried these things since what, about 85 or 6 or something. Now they carry the Glock 19, I think, but there's a reason the SEALs carried these, and they're famous as a SEAL team, you know, pistol. They just smooth to shoot, smooth operators, extremely well made, high quality firearms. They just are. The bore axis is a little higher than on some of their guns, but 9mm, you know, doesn't matter that much. And just pure quality, reliability, and just great pistols. They just really are. And you know, if you're a shooter, if you like firearms, think about all the firearms you have, that I have, and your friends have, acquaintances, people you see at the range, firearms they bring out to shoot. I've said this before, but you know, probably what, 50%, 75%, 90% of the firearms that many of us own, we may never carry, we may never hunt with it, may not even be a firearm we ever use for home defense. Could, any of them could be, right? Not even going to compete with it, you know? So why do we have it? What's wrong with us? What is wrong with us? You know? Well, we just like it. It's fun to shoot. We shoot it well, right? Or we just enjoy shooting it. I don't know. So we can get a little too Cooper-esque if we're not careful. He was famous, Jeff Cooper. If you don't know who it is, Google it. Jeff Cooper was famous for always asking when someone brought a different gun around, new gun, ask, what's it for? You know, what's its purpose? You know, in other words, yeah, what's it do better than the 1911 in his mind? What's it do better than my 5-inch 1911? What's it do? What's it do that the guns that are already out there don't do? You know, that kind of thing. And that's a good thing to keep in mind, you know. And that's really what I'm doing, like with this gun. That's what I'm telling you, what this gun does. It doesn't do probably anything better than a large array of firearms out there, a whole array of firearms. It doesn't necessarily do something that you got to have, right? We'll all be carrying this maybe. But it's a really cool gun, and it's high quality. Just the P226 is a wonderful, wonderful pistol. You know, the Beretta 92 FS, you know, same thing, big old gun, but great shooter. I've got one, so I've got one. I wouldn't mind having one of these just to bring it out and shoot. And, so anyway, that's just more on that topic. Try not to give people too hard a time for having a firearm that seems a little bit impractical to you, perhaps, and me. Yeah, like so what? I could go see Jay Leno, let him know, hey, Jay, I hate to tell you this, but you got some cars in your garage that are kind of impractical. Yeah, they really are. Let me give you the Jeff Cooper question, Jay. What's that one for? What's this one for? What's that 1928 Studebaker for? Whatever. Oh, his answer would be, well, it's part of my collection because I like it, or it has historical significance or whatever it might be. I like cars, Well, same with us gun nuts, it's just another interesting piece of machinery that's a smooth shooter, and it's something that you're going to take to the range maybe 5 or 6 times a year. I don't know. And you can afford it. That's the big thing. You always have that consideration. If you're on a really strict budget and you can barely afford right now to have a shotgun and a handgun and maybe a rifle you like to hunt with or whatever it is, then it's a different matter. Then this gun, the possibility of buying this is way more impractical than anybody can imagine. Okay? Whereas if someone buys this that doesn't even notice the money it costs, then it's a totally different, concept, isn't it? So, for example, put in maybe different terms, if this costs $39, this pistol, then that person might have 2 of them as well, So everything's tied into that, of course. So, but anyway, and I've come. I don't know, I've made progress in that thinking over the years, the decades, I think. I've come to realize, well, I have to, because I have so many firearms. Like, why do I have some of these? Why do I don't even shoot them that often? I haven't had one out in here. Why do I have these? Should I sell it? Speaking of Dave Ramsey, I think, was it him? I don't know. There's just this idea that look at what you own, and would you, he's talked about this, if you would not buy, if you did not own that, let's say, if I didn't own a GP100, for example, which I do, this is mine, and so is this 10 millimeter M&P, that's mine. If I didn't own these, okay, would I buy them? And if my answer is, think about it, and if my answer is, nah, if I wouldn't buy that today, well, then I should sell them. Now that's the essentials of that thinking. Doesn't always apply, really, does it? But it's something to go through. It's a good mental exercise. Like, would I buy that today? It lets you at least ask yourself, do I really need to own that? Especially if you have financial challenges. Do I really need to own that? Would I buy that today? So there's a lot of things we might say, no, I probably wouldn't, but I'm going to keep it anyway, right? So anyway, just something to think about. So I did shoot that last mag. Yeah, I could load more if I want to. I can do it if I want to, right? I can do a lot of things if I want to. Oh gosh, do I have any advice for children? I do have some advice for young people. And I say young people. That covers a wide gamut for me. Maybe I should call this advice for younger people. There we go. It's advice for younger people. So that means anybody under my so in other words, that's everybody, right? Well, younger is relative. Younger really means less experienced or more naive and that kind of thing. We all are moving across that continuum of naivete and experience and sophistication or whatever. Some of us don't get any smarter as we get older. Some of us get a little smarter, a little wiser. Some of us don't. Some of us get really wise in certain areas, maybe. In other areas we don't. So it's all relative, isn't it? But yeah, speaking of Dave Ramsey, and he is a financial advisor based in Nashville. That's why I brought him up early on. I forget about him. I used to listen to him a lot. He and back when they were started, I think they had a radio show before the internet was big, before anybody even, I think it was even before maybe the internet. Anybody was using it. I'm thinking it was the earliest 90s, like 91 or 2 or 3, because nobody was talking about the internet at that time. Okay, the World Wide Web was out there, being used by researchers and things. There was no graphics, because I was early into it through an ISDN line at my model classroom, as I've talked about. So I used to listen to these guys on the radio, old-fashioned, in the afternoon. I remember I had a planning period, or maybe it was after school's out. I don't know, but I would listen to them occasionally, or a lot if I could. And it was Dave Ramsey and Bill Matlock. He's actually a former student of mine. Back, oh my gosh, probably my first year of teaching. Embarrassed to say it, back before I really knew anything about teaching, but unfortunately he was in my class. But he's a financial guru too, and Dave Ramsey is. And they both have been for a long, long, long time. That's who they are. So if I mention Ramsey's name, but so anyway, I thought for young people, maybe again, talk about budget, because so many people have trouble with that. And in the word budget, something that's come to me, why is it that we're also resistant to having a budget? Because I think we associate it with austerity and not being able to spend that extra $10 on beer this week, or I'm gonna be restricting myself, and living the life of a pauper when I don't necessarily have to. And so I don't want to think about budget, But most people, I think, have enough savvy to realize, no, it's not that. It's just an organizing your finances. It's a highly advised. Oh man, it made such a difference in my life once I did that, and it was around that time. I thank Dave Ramsey. Okay, I don't agree with him on everything, but I thank him. I have a lot of gratitude for him and Bill Matlock, because they were doing that show in the afternoon together, and it got me thinking better about all that, really, and helped me a great deal. And that's been over 30 years ago. But anyway, a budget, like my advice would be, like, for example, you're probably a gun nut, and you're thinking, oh no, I'm on a budget, I can never buy another gun. I'll have a category. I did that for years and still do. A category where you're saving up. You put a certain amount in that category every month for your hobby, or whatever it is. Okay, if it's collecting Barbie dolls or firearms or shooting, whatever, competition shooting. And whatever you can afford to put in there, put it in there. It's $100 or $500 a month, whatever. And then before you know it, a few thousand in there, or whatever. I mean, so it doesn't mean it's an austerity program necessarily, but just I'd highly advise you to, one of these Sunday videos, I brought out my little sheet kind of and showed you how I do it, but however you want to do it, but have a category for everything and know how much money you have each month. That's the main thing, however you do it. Spreadsheet's an easy way to do it, and there's programs out there and all sorts of things. But highly recommend that. It will change your life. Change your life. It really will. And I've done it for a long time, back when I really needed to. I wasn't making so much money at all. And it really helped me, and it helped me have money for my hobby and that kind of thing, and always know how much I had. I could tell you at any time for the last 30, 35 years, how much money the electric bill comes or whatever it is. It doesn't matter. It's not an issue. I got that. Yeah, it's just a matter of taking the money out of that category, and then when I get paid, it's going right back in, same amount, and so it's always there. It's never like, where am I going to get that? Do I have enough money for that? Yeah, I do. I know it's right there. It's called electric bill, whatever. Okay. So I highly recommend that. I really do. I won't say I didn't rob one category to pay another one occasionally, because maybe one built up a little bit more, and then a little more out of this one, needed it or something. A little more, I need a little more miscellaneous cash, but I always shot everything high. If electric bill at that time was an average of a couple $100, I'd put $225 in a month or whatever. Just make sure I had a padding in every category, and mess with that. And the biggest thing, I won't spend 4 hours on this, but I think too, people who actually do that or have a budget, they might make a mistake and forget about some of those things that actually create an emergency. First of all, you should have an emergency fund. That's one of your categories. But needing new tires a year and a half from now, or having to replace your air conditioner in November of this year, or your roof beginning to leak one day this summer and you have to call a repairman, that kind of thing. Those aren't emergencies. Do you think that's not going to happen? You think there's not going to be a medical bill for you or your family for the next 5 years, next 6 months? Those are just normal things that are going to happen. So that's the stuff you want to get in there. If your car insurance comes due, maybe you paid every 6 months, or your homeowner's insurance once a year, or the tax on your house, your land, your house comes once a year. Well, is that an emergency? Is that a big surprise? Oh my God, my budget's blown? No, that should be in there. If the tax on your property, your house is $3,000 a year, well, divide that by 12. Oh, I wonder why. And that's part of your monthly budget goes in there, right? Car repairs. What do you normally spend on car repairs in a year? Car purchase, if you want to get ahead of the game and get out of the car payment business, right? What's your car actually, what's your transportation actually cost you? Everything, the gas, the insurance, you can put all that in a different category, maybe maintenance or something. And you can get that number, not that hard. It may be $300 a month, it may be $50 a month, I don't know, depends on your situation. But that's coming. Your car is going to be due service. It's going to have breakdowns. That's going to happen. That shouldn't be an emergency, okay? Now, this is me talking from experience. If you go back before 1990, I wasn't so good at that, okay? But since then, I've gotten really good at it. And I mean, the same, I did that on maintenance, the cars early on, and it was so nice not to worry about it. And it would build up. I wouldn't have any trouble driving an old Volvo at the time. But then something would happen to it, and I didn't have, oh no, $800, or $1,500. Well, I had that in there. The categories in there. The money was there because it built up month by month by month, So that's very, very few emergencies should actually happen. What you would really consider an emergency. Totally unexpected, right? Replacing a roof, that's kind of expected every 15 or 20 years, right? Replacing tires, car problems, the insurance, all that stuff, car insurance, all kinds of insurance, whatever's due. You could just go back to the last month, look at your checkbook, look at your accounting, and see what every single thing that has come up that you had to write a check for, or you had to pay for on your credit cards or debit cards or whatever. And that way you won't miss anything. You won't forget about something. And then divide it by 12 or however you want to do it. But I like to do it by month. Just put a certain amount in there a month to cover it. Okay? It's not rocket science. And then it helps you sleep at night. So it essentially, especially if you also have an emergency fund, and then what I started doing was when the emergency fund would get built up, move that into savings. Okay? And so then you got the emergency fund, plus you got savings separate from that, and then hopefully you got all that growing, okay, and investments and everything. But that first line of defense is, the budget with all the categories of things where hobby, like I say, category for hobby, movie, whatever, the fun stuff, too, of course. And then the emergency fund, you got going in there every month, and you built that up to whatever it is. If the emergency fund gets up to $3,000 or $5,000, and you got all the other categories covered, you're not likely to have an emergency, right? You're trying to prevent emergencies. You're talking about something that is unpredictable, okay? And then you got a fair amount in there, and then you can move from it over into permanent savings or investments and things. Okay, just thought I know this is a shooting kind of a channel, but on Sunday it's a lot of things, isn't it? But I think that's something that people need, okay? Very, very, very badly, obviously. Really do, because I did, and I was lucky to find a couple of goofballs on the radio that helped me. And again, I will always be appreciative of those guys. And it's kind of neat. One of them was actually in my class, and probably thought I was the worst teacher in the world. Doesn't matter. He was. It was great. I mean, who knew? Let's see. Like 20, 30 years later, that a dumb little seventh grader, actually he wasn't dumb, he was smart, would do something that I would gain so much from. You know, he and his buddy, you know, on the radio. It's funny. It's kind of like when I haven't told this, I guess. I had a student also, this was later, my second incarnation teaching, first year, is in the early 90s. I was teaching, I had a junior class, English class, and it was a small class, and it was funny, and for a couple of years, but in the year, this was the early 90s, so it would have been like 20, probably about 25 years later, 20, 25 years later, I fall and shatter my arm, okay? I've got titanium in there and pins and everything. And so I had to have microsurgery, so I'm off to Vanderbilt, you know, and all that. And of course, I'm out for hours while they're doing all that. And I didn't really want to watch it. And so I'm in recovery room. I don't know what time it was, 10 or 11 o'clock. I'm in recovery, I'm waking up. And of course I'm in the hospital gown and I'm groggy and everything. And there's a nurse there or two, nurse one actually, and helping. And so I'm trying to get up on the edge of the bed and get my clothes back on, underwear and everything. You know, in a hospital gown, you're essentially naked. And she's helping me get dressed, and I realized, you know, I was in the hospital, you know, you can't be too modest, right? I'm doing good. The nurse who was helping me get dressed was a former student of mine from 20, 25 years ago. So you never know where people are going to show up, you know, and how they're going to help you. You know, it's just a weird world. All right, a lot of yakking. Let's send a little lead now. Now these are gentler and friendlier. 38 special. Okay. This should be fun to shoot. Oh, yeah. Nice. Yeah. Smoky. 38 special. They're fun to shoot, I tell you. And you know, this one, I'm gonna shoot some more, can I? One of the biggest advantages of a 357 Magnum revolver is the fact that you could shoot 38 special in it, if you can find it, right? Or if you hand load, because you can load up some, or you can buy some 38 special rounds. That, I mean, anybody in the family, basically, if they can hold this heavy gun, they could shoot 38 special in it. Okay, it is not going to kick much at all. Let's see if we put one of these here bullets on the gong. 158 grains of lead. Yeah. They're so pleasant to shoot. I'll try a turkey over there. All right, sweet sound. I could imagine, you know, especially in a short barrel, somebody owning a firearm like this, buying it to really just shoot 38 special. Yeah, I mean, and have a Magnum, and again, a revolver with a 3-inch barrel, a Magnum revolver, whether it's 357 or 44, to me is kind of a it is kind of a 38 special revolver or a 44 special revolver with Magnum capability, though, if you need it. Okay, the way I look at it. It was in my one of my favorites, which is kind of a Smith & Wesson counterpart to this, the Model 65. You know, the one I had the hammer bobbed on. Smith & Wesson K-frame is, I carry 38 special plus P in it, yeah. And so that's a whole nother argument about what ammo to carry, right? So 38 special, keep those separate. And it's something you want to do if you got both going. You know, if you're a hand loader or even if you're not, just separate your 38 special from 357. Okay, what do you want me to shoot? Last go around. Anything? Anything else you needed to know about? I gave you enough probably advice this week, didn't I? Well, hopefully everybody still, you know, we're in crazy times politically and everything, but we always have the, despite what you see online, there's still people you'll see making comments about, oh, they're not really coming to get your guns. It's like people are dreaming all this up, you know, like we're all just paranoid, and nobody's coming for our guns. Well, you know, they're trying every day to chip away at it, every day in every way they possibly can. Wow. And so people who make those comments they're just in the pocket of the gun banners, basically. They want to continue voting for whatever reason, for the people that are trying to take guns away and limit the Second Amendment. That's what it comes down to. If you ever see anybody making comments like that, you know, being sarcastic, you know, yeah, like they're trying to get your gun, or like certain presidents, yeah, like they were trying to get your guns. Any comments you see like that, that tells you their politics, and or possibly they think they're pro Second Amendment, but they just want to vote for the people who are trying to limit the Second Amendment. They still want to continue voting for them, so they just rationalize that in their head, you know, because there are still guns out there. Nobody took your guns, and they don't delve into it deeply enough. They don't know about all the fights going on in every state legislatively over firearms, the Second Amendment. But it's almost comical, you know, really. So we got to stay vigilant, keep working, and like I say, join the organizations you believe in, and follow it and vote for the people that are pro Second Amendment. I'm kind of encouraged with everything that's going on. I don't know. There seem to be a lot of sharp people running for office, jumping into the fray, and that's great. A lot of veterans are running for the House, you know, in various states, and that's generally a good thing, almost down to the last one, you know, as far as freedom and liberty, that sort of thing. So I'm kind of encouraged, but boy, we got a long way to go. A lot of crazy stuff to undo and to make sure it doesn't happen again. But there are some bright spots, you know. Elon Musk, you know, that seems to be a bright spot. We don't know for sure, but it sure seems like it, doesn't it? And we'll see what happens, transpires. Okay. So really appreciate you all coming around, and I may stay here and shoot a little bit more. Is that okay after you leave? I promise not to shoot too much. I promise not to overshoot anything, okay? Yeah, I really do promise not to overshoot. And I'm glad you came out to see the old SIG P226. We'll do a video with that and some other things. I know it's not a brand new release. I was looking around the web, and it's funny, you can tell when these guns are released, or any new gun is released, because if you look at the time that the videos were released, sometimes it's like 2 months ago or 3 months ago. I was looking up information on another firearm, and like there was a rash of videos, like I don't know, 4 months ago or 6 months ago, you know. So it's right up on the release, and most of them are early looks and that kind of thing. People have got the guns free and whatever, you know, so all those videos get posted, you know. And then other videos just kind of come out, you know, down the line, like ours do, just whenever I get in the mood to do it, you know. And so I'm not in the rush to get anything, obviously. Sometimes if it's something that really does interest me, I'm really looking forward to it, then I will watch for it more closely, and I'll contact buds and bother them a little more than normally. I really want to get like the Ruger Marlin. Yeah, I really would like to try one of those out as soon as y'all get one, you know, early on. As soon as you get one. I don't want a new one from Ruger, but You want to, as soon as you get one, I'd sure like to do a video with it. And not necessarily the first one, take one out of somebody else's hands, but just as soon as you got some, I'd like one. But by and large, no rush, I'm just as happy doing a video with this thing, I'm going to do a chapter 2 with my Python, in fact, here this week, just my 6-inch Python, get it out to shoot it, enjoy that some more. I got some other vintage guns I'm going to do video with sometime over the next couple of weeks, probably the 1842, I always want to say Civil War rifle, but no, just 1842 musket. Civil War was a little bit later than that, right? Like about 20 years almost. And so I'm looking forward to that. I think I have pretty much everything I need. I don't have, the only thing I don't have, and probably will not have, are buck and ball cartridges. So I want to shoot some shot, shoot round ball, and then do the buck and ball thing with it, because it's a smoothbore. And that's what they used out of that some, buck and ball was a popular load with them too. But I don't know, did I find, I don't know, maybe I did find some already without powder. Jefferson Arsenal, was it? I think I finally did find some. I know they had some kits where you can make them, and I'm probably going to get into that with it. I can load a buck and ball load by just putting, the powder in, and I got wads, and put the buck in and put the ball and all that kind of thing. I think the only thing is, I think on the cartridges, some of you all who really know that I've done some research on it. I forgot what I've learned, but I think there's a couple of schools of thought as to whether the buck, the small pellets, usually it's 3, whether they go on top of the round ball or under it when you load. And I've seen people advocating both, and people criticizing one or both, and I don't know. I think in the cartridges, it seems like, well, I don't know. Maybe it's on top. Yeah, I think it is in a cart, but I don't know. It may be held differently. It may be more effective if it's in a paper cartridge. I'm talking about paper cartridge now. But I don't know. I'll do some more research on that. But I can load that, whether it's under the ball or on top of it. I think if you put the 3 small pellets, which would be like a 30 caliber ball, the 3 of them on top of the 69 caliber ball, I think it causes them to go a little more haywire, doesn't it? You folks who know this and have shot this before, because as soon as that thing leaves the bore, as the big ball is pushing the 3 little ones out, it would, obviously they're going to spread either way, but it seemed like they might get really spread crazily. I don't know, more so than if they're behind the 69 caliber ball, which is actually going to be like 66 or whatever it is. I got 2 or 3 different sizes. I have to experiment, but it seems like it might go more in the direction of the big ball, or maybe that's more likely to make them spread out in a crazy fashion. I don't know. I'll do some experimentation. Maybe we'll just do that in video. Maybe we'll load it both ways. Unless I learn differently that it's not advised to do it one way or the other. So anyway, I'm looking forward to shooting that, and I'll just shoot round balls in it mostly, not mini balls, because it's a smooth bore. But boy, what a piece of history. Harper's Ferry, if you missed whenever, last week or week before, it's a made in 1845 or 1846, Harper's Ferry, 1842, okay, that model, smooth bore. It's not, many of those were converted and rifled, later, and even the bore size cranked down to some of them to 58 caliber, so they take a 58 caliber mini ball. But this one is still smooth bore. It's not been anything done to it at all, and so looking forward to fire. I have not fired it, period, anything. So I'm gonna let you go. I'm sorry, but you got to leave. And as always, we really do appreciate your support. Most of you, almost all of you, are very civilized, and you enjoy firearms, and you come around. As I've said many times, it's a testament. I think I said that in an interview that Julia Golub, when she interviewed me about our viewers. It's a testament to our viewers that they watch these stupid videos, which are not a thrill a minute, and we don't edit them. And on Sunday, where I really should edit them, I don't even then. So it's a testament to you all. Maybe it's a testament to your poor judgment, but it's a testament to you all, and we really appreciate it that we can do things the way we do it and enjoy it, and that enough people come to see it that it makes it worthwhile, from that end. And because that does make it so much more enjoyable to be able to, there's preparation for a video, but once I figure out what I want to shoot and do and try to remember things I want to tell you, get that in my head and start the video, it's just like today almost, just out here shooting and enjoying the gun, rather than filming little segments, which there's some great videos done that way, right? We've done a couple like that, but don't have to do that. It's a totally different experience. Y'all that do videos and know what I'm talking about, because you're doing a little segment, and I could have said that better. Let's do that again. You might do that little segment 3 or 4 times, perhaps, and then, okay, let's do the next segment. Okay, I'm gonna start. And where do I leave off? And you end up with a really high quality product, by doing that. You really do, and don't get as much rambling or any rambling like you get here. But anyway, we really appreciate the fact that you will allow us to do it this way. Is what I'm trying to say. So glad you came by. I hope you come back again, because I hope we're all here next Sunday. Life is good.